Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I am so happy to be here. I hope that you guys are having the best day. I am, we're doing something a little bit different today because I'm starting a different stream that goes along with these streams on Spoon. Spoon is kind of like TikTok for uh, just podcasters, for streamers. So I'm working on getting that set up, which should have been set up already, but I apparently don't know what I'm doing. But that's part of what we're supposed to be doing today, which I'm actually really excited about. So as soon as I can get that going, we'll have everything set. But I am really happy to be here. I hope that you guys are as well. I hope you're having a good day. If you are listening live, it is the 19th of October already. It's about 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm just so happy to be here. So, hopefully, you guys are as well. Okay, I think I finally have this figured out. What in the world? Okay. Okay, we did it. All righty. So here we go. So I want to welcome you guys that are joining me on Spoon as well. We are live over at 12radio.com. We are in the chat room. You can find that by heading over to 12radio.com, clicking on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. I want to let you know that you can find me live streaming on Spoon at True Crime Paranormal. You can find me live video streaming on YouTube and on Facebook as Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic. So lots and lots of ways and places to connect. So I'm so happy. How are you guys? I'm curious to know because this full moon feels a little bit pissed off. Have you noticed? This full moon is not going to be warm and cuddly. There is some warrior energy in this one, some goddess warrior energy, I think. So if you're feeling a bit like going to war, you probably know why. This we are just ripe for that right now. So you might also find other people behaving that way with you just a little bit as well. So don't get too thrown off if you have other people, displaying their own wild goddess vibes because we're feeling it. We are just really feeling it. Yeah. All righty. Well, tomorrow is a full moon, of course, so we're going to do full moon fairy tale tarot today on the show. And I would like to read from the gratitude oracle in honor of Angie. As you guys know, our dear Angela Hartfield has passed away. We talked about that a little bit last week, but I want to read from her deck today just to honor her a little bit. And if you didn't know that, I'm sorry to be the person that breaks that news. She had been ill for a very long time with cancer and has gone home. So that is something that's just been a little heavy on our hearts here in the 1-2 world the last little while. But we have been waiting to make much of a public statement because her family had asked for some space. Yeah. Oh, Sid. Sid said I was right on suspecting that something was up with the planets when a neighbor rudely spouted off to me. Yep. You're right, Sid. Yeah, people are feeling it. And honestly, the best thing you can do for yourself is just refuse to get hurt, right? Refuse to let people hurt your feelings, refuse to let them under your skin as much as possible because honestly, there's not much you can do about that besides control your own response. So we have the most hilarious thing happening at True Crime Paranormal. So I have to tell you guys about it. Uh, we have a sponsor. We got a corporate sponsor, and it's exciting. It's a good thing. Uh, but I am struggling. I am struggling to make the commercial because I can't quit laughing. You guys who know me know that that's probably a bit of my Bit of my MO, right? Well, anyway, the sponsor is Manscaped. And Manscaped sent Christy and I both PR boxes that were funny as hell. And like we both got t-shirts that said, Manscaped, your balls will thank you. As well as the lawnmower 4.0. That's the downstairs trimmer, as well as nose hair trimmer thing and a bunch of like products like ball toner and things like that. And honestly, like when they approached us and said, that they wanted to explore a sponsorship with us, we were like, "Well, you do know we're women, right?" And they said, "Yeah, yeah, no, it's fine. We actually want more women marketing our product, so this is perfect." And it is so funny. Part of it is so funny because their marketing is so damn hilarious, you guys. It's just almost too much for me. But last night, in trying to record our first commercial, I could not quit laughing. I laughed until Christy was probably ready to just come over here and kick me. I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. I laughed myself to tears. I had literally tears rolling down my face. I wiped half my makeup off before we even got started because I couldn't quit. Anyway, finally made it through it. And but I'm gonna have to do that live. I mean, this was one thing. This was pre-record where I could go through and erase the parts that didn't work, but I'm not gonna get away with that forever. So anyway, yikes. Scott thinks it is so funny. He's not letting me use him as a test case, but Christy's son Mike has been more willing to try out the products. And apparently my son already bought Manscaped a couple of months ago, which really I could kick him because here's the thing. We have to we have to get 8 people to use our promo code in the first 4 weeks and then they'll sign a longer term deal with us. So that's how it works. So that's what we're working on. And can you believe that my own kid had already bought it? Well, I'm going to make him just order something. But anyway, you guys, this one is killing me, killing me. I mean, we have a podcast sponsor that's Anchor, and that's easy because that's literally the product that we use. But this one is just, you guys, their marketing is brilliant. There's a bag in the bottom of the PR box for all the stuff to go in called the ball bag. Yeah. And there's a newspaper. And the newspaper, it's like a regular newspaper. There's horoscopes, there's deaths, there's wanted ads and articles, and they are a scream. Scott and I have absolutely died laughing. Anyway, it's brilliant marketing. It really is. I just am going to have to find a way to get control of myself. Because I don't think our sponsor would appreciate quite that much laughter while we are trying to while we were trying to market such a thing. Anyway, so if you want to see the commercial, you just have to go over to True Crime Paranormal. This is what's crazy. I mean, the episode was actually about a terrible murder, but we had this commercial in the beginning. So, not that we were making light of the crime or anything like that. It's just that trying to get this done, my goodness. Anyway, but if you go over to YouTube under True Crime Paranormal, and in the first, the commercial is in like the first 3 minutes, and the video is horrifying video of killer as police arrive to crime scene. Yeah, there's a little dissonance here. Oh, you guys. What are we doing? It's all good, right? It is good. Okay. Right? Yeah, you're not getting a long-term sponsor if you laugh at anyone buying it. True. I think everyone should buy it, actually. It's pretty brilliant, but especially after listening to their marketing. I had no idea balls were such a problem. I didn't know. Speaking of which, have you guys ever seen the Robin Williams stand-up bit about genitalia? About what it was like in heaven creating genitalia? If you have not, when we're done today, I have to highly recommend that you go find it and watch it because it is one of the funniest Robin Williams clips I have ever seen. So, anyway, and why is that coming up? Well, because the rest of this is. So, you didn't know that you were going to have this kind of talk today, did you? Okay. Well, you are. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. It is a good time to buy as a holiday gift, especially because it really is almost November. My God. So yeah. Oh yeah, go watch the commercial and if you're interested in the code, let me know. I think the code is actually True Crime Paranormal at manscaped.com and that's a 20% off code as well. So there you go. Just commercialing it up over here. Okay. All righty. Let's take a look at Luminous. So I put a link in the chat rooms. You can also, Luminous is the magazine that I publish during the every Tuesday with some help from my friends. And you can find it by heading over to katie-weaver.com and click on the Luminous Magazine tab. But I did put a link in the chat room for it. And you can find it if you're over on Spoon. You can just head over to Katie-Weaver and find it right there. So simple enough. I am going to share my screen here in the video file so that you guys can just see it and we'll go through a couple of things there together. Okay, yet another Halloween cover. I'll be sad when Halloween's over. These were my favorite covers. My absolute favorite. Oh, too much. Okay. All right. Note from me. We did go back to Montana yet again this weekend for softball, and it was absolutely awesome. It was really fun. Beautiful, beautiful weekend. My God, the colors driving from here to Mars's place is unbelievable. The just the fall colors are crazy. So yeah, we had a good trip. She had a great game, played well, but all is good. The best part is that Matea came home from college to go with us because she hasn't seen her sister in 2 months, which is the longest these girls have ever gone between seeing each other. So she came and went with us, and we had a lot of fun. It was a great trip. Also, fun to be back home. Scott and I have two two new systems that we're learning. I learned a new system of art that is it's heat foiling. And I don't have anything to show you yet because all my materials aren't here yet. So I can do it on a smaller scale, but what I really want to do, I can't do yet. But just rest assured, oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. And I cannot wait to share this art with you guys. But also, Scott made the mistake of asking for a 3D printer for his birthday. Scott's birthday is next week. And I have always wanted a 3D printer, so that was music to my ears. Yes, this is not actually about me, but he saw casa, mi casa. Anyway, the kids and I chipped in to order a good one, a great 3D printer, and it's not here yet, but all of the filament is for it, and I cannot wait, cannot even wait, cannot wait for it to come because I have got plans, plans, plans for that thing. When he's not using it, it is his birthday present, but it's going to be great. So, anyway, as usual, lots of like frantic art and creating going on in this house is we're constantly trying something new. I recognize that we have both become kind of these like masters of none. We've learned how to do a lot of stuff, but we aren't like masters of any of it. So at some point, I probably should slow down and just master a few things. But right now, I'm just I'm having too much fun just doing a lot of things. So that's what my brain is doing currently. So that's what I'm doing with it. I called this edition the Full Moon Mayhem edition because, well, obviously, this full moon is pretty wild. I'm going to be the first to admit it. And I think that we probably are going to need to ground ourselves a little, nurse our hurt feelings a little, and, find some kind of peace in the storm. So I did call it the Full Moon Mayhem edition. All right. So, my musings this week, I was talking about, the whole commercial situation. But then I also shared a great meme, a chart of the health benefits of laughter. You guys, I've talked about this lots and lots of times, but I also know that sometimes we need some reminders to laugh. So, laughter improves your mood, it reduces stress, it boosts your immune system, it improves your heart health, it improves your brain function, and it helps to relieve pain. What do you do when you're not feeling it, where you don't have any laughter in your heart, where you're not really feeling that energy? What do you do? Well, to me, there's a few thoughts. I mean, one is looking for media that makes you laugh. Is there a movie that makes you laugh every time you watch it? Is there a comedian that you particularly love? Or a topic that really cracks you up? Like, what makes you laugh? Those are the things that you should seek out. Do you have a fun friend that cracks you up every time you connect with them? Maybe that's the route to go. You know, whatever makes you laugh, whatever, tickles you. We're all different, so I can't tell you for sure. But for me, it's usually comedy. I love comedy. I am most likely to turn on comedy while I'm doing housework because that's mundane stuff that I do not enjoy. But I'll also a lot of times turn on comedy while I'm creating and doing art and things because it's just the way I want to spend my time. It's the vibe I want to be in. But looking for ways to laugh when you need to laugh, there's options. You can always call me at one to listen. I may make you laugh as well. I might make you cry too, so there's there kind of that caveat, but Here are bitch scopes with Kelly. So Kelly says October 19th, Venus quincunx Uranus, feeling restless in relationships, craving change and excitement. We'll take it. Okay, let's read one scope about Leo. Boredom could get the best of you this week, and because you are likely to be feeling a little cocky, you might step out of bounds trying to capitalize on your own energy. Make sure that the actions you take this week are in alignment with your moral compass. If you can answer yes, then you stand a good chance of having a very productive week, as you will draw the right kinds of attention. Ooh, Leo. Leo's all over it. Leo's big and bad and too cool for school. I like it. So be sure you read your bitch scope here or over at one2listen.com. And you may have noticed that Kelly's show has changed just a little. She has converted her, or rebranded, not converted. She has rebranded. Bitch splaining is now wildish, which is pretty perfect for Kelly. I love it. I love the rebrands. I think it's fun to consider who you are right now, and how you really want your show to feel and look. And I love it. Very good stuff. Yeah. All righty. Well, in the tip of the week, I just put up a chart of the moon phases. I think it's a good reminder sometimes. If you don't pay attention to the phases of the moon, it might be smart to start. You might discover some things about yourself you didn't realize. Like, wow, I actually don't sleep very well during the full moon. Or, during the new moon, I tend to feel a little more cranky. Or something, along those lines. I don't want to be your self fulfilling prophecy. But I thought a moon chart is useful to remember all of the different phases. So, of course, when the moon is new, it is dark. A waxing crescent is when you've just got a tiny sliver. Then first quarter, waxing gibbous is when it's almost full but not quite there. It was a waxing gibbous on Sunday. Now tonight and into tomorrow we have the full moon and the waning gibbous. The moon finally, starts to look a little less. Third quarter, we've got about a half a moon and waning crescent, well, a crescent moon. So those are the differences, the names of the moon, in case you've ever wondered. But waxing is when it is growing, and waning is when it is diminishing. But again, pay attention to the cycles of the moon. You may discover some things about yourself that you didn't know about how the moon affects you. All right. The Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck this week from Christy. The card is the butterfly, and there's a link here in Luminous for you to watch. It's about a 1 minute reading from her about what the butterfly means and how it applies to us this week. The Magic Monday message from Melissa Caprio is this beautiful postcard that says, "Your future looks rosy." And then, of course, lots of stuff going on over at True Crime Paranormal. We've already talked about that quite a bit this week. So, if that's your jam, go check it out. We do have 2 new cases this week and lots more coming. All righty. And that's about it. Oh, Jamie Dawn has a great video for the full moon. If you haven't seen it, be sure and check that out as well. And if you're not looking at Luminous, you can find her over on YouTube, Jamie Dawn. And her videos are Celestial Wisdom, and they're so, so good. So be sure and check those out. And that's it. That is Luminous for the week. So I hope you guys find some gems in there that work well for you. And, I always do. All righty. Oh, I like that. Sid said, oh, she said, "I love funny, sweet movies with dogs. I highly recommend Unleashed with Kate McCurry and both of the Legally Blonde movies." Uh-huh. Amen. I'll give you that. I love sweet, funny movies with dogs, just not sad ones. Don't even be giving me you know, Fox and the Hound or Where the Red Fern Grows. No, that's a hard no. No, no, no. Well, what do you guys think? We should probably check out Full Moon Fairy Tale Tarot. So this is a reading that we do every full moon. It's from the deck Full Moon Fairy Tale Tarot by Lisa Hunt. And I've already pulled the card to make things a little bit easier. So I'll show you guys the card and then we'll talk about it. But the question I asked when I was pulling the cards was, what do we need to know for this full moon cycle? So it's a collective reading. So it is the 7 of Cups. So it looks like there's a dragon, there's some smoke, there is a man standing kind of above the dragon, there's a castle, really ornate architecture like around the door of the castle. There are some stairs that lead up. There's something that looks kind of like almost like a crystal ball on a pedestal or something along those lines. I'm sure we'll miss part of the there's little purple gems in the archway above the door. I'm sure we'll miss some of the symbology, but that's hopefully most of it. Okay. So this is the Glass Mountain. It's Polish. The keywords are challenges, getting past illusions, and distractions. And I can only hope that this is better than the story last month because I thought the story last month was a bit horrifying. So here we go. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful castle that stood atop a long glass mountain. The castle was like no other. The rooms were filled with riches and gold, and the structure that overlooked a precipice of countless dangers. It was said that a beautiful princess would stroll out onto the balcony and look out wistfully for a prince that she hoped one day would reach the castle gate. Or princess, you don't know. Many a brave knight attempted to scale the slippery slopes, but plummeted down the abyss below, joining the pile of bodies that were already trapped there. Okay. The beautiful princess would watch the daring men from high above and sigh every time their brave attempts resulted in failure. She sighs. Well, another one bites the dust, I guess. Okay. After 7 years, everyone began to doubt the mountain would ever be conquered. You think? And the princess began to accept her life in eternal isolation. One day, a courageous knight wearing golden armor swept up the mountain on a fiery steed. It could have been a donkey for what we know of fairy tales. The people below marveled at the swiftness of his climb and felt certain he would be the one to finally reach the summit. The knight was almost near the top when a giant crow swooped down and poked out the horse's eye. The horse whinnied, lost its balance, and slipped to the depths below. Both rider and steed were crushed upon a heap of bones. And with that, all was quiet for a while. I mean, that seems legit. On the last day before the seventh year, a youth appeared and spoke of his intention to surmount the glass mountain. He was a happy young fellow who had heard about the princess years earlier. Knowing the challenge that lay ahead, he fastened claws on his hands that he had found in the woods and began making his ascent. The young man pushed as hard as he could, anchoring himself step by step with his makeshift claws. By the time he made it halfway up the mountain, the setting sun gave way to darkness, and with a sense of hopelessness, he glanced at the depths below and saw the vague carnage of those who had failed before. The smell of decaying bodies became overwhelming. Ooh, demoralizing the exhausted trekker. He clung to the walls with the claws and closed his eyes, passing out under a canopy of stars. Then a violent scratching of his chest returned him to his consciousness. A monstrous bird was picking at the youth as though he were carrion. The youth abandoned his claws, grabbed the creature's feet with his hands, and held on with all of his might. The bird flapped its mighty wings and with great effort lifted itself and the young man up into the sky. When the youth looked down, he saw a magical apple tree, the fruit being key to gaining admittance into the castle. Oh, really? Since when? Okay. Without a moment to spare, he took a knife from his bag and released himself by cutting off the bird's feet. Oh, what the hell? Has he never heard of letting go? Down he fell, right next to the tree. And when he recovered his wits, he placed a peel of the apple on his wound, and the juice of the fruit served as a healing elixir. He put some apples in his bag and walked towards the gate. But instead of an easy entrance, there sat an imposing smoking dragon, eyeing him hungrily. He blocked the path with his mighty tail and looked as though he intended to put an end to the brazen journeyer. But in a moment of potential defeat, the youth threw an apple with every ounce of energy he had left. The apple struck the beast and caused him to be evaporated into a cloud. The gate was now free, and after climbing innumerable steps through a labyrinth of stairs, the youth came to a silver room. The princess had witnessed the triumphant feat and ran to embrace the hero who had proven himself worthy as her future prince. Before long, they married, and he became a wealthy, wise ruler. As for the giant bird, it eventually landed footless in a patch of wood along the glass mountain, and as its life ebbed away, the heroic men who had perished on the mountain were revived. Yeah, all those dead bodies just hopping right to it. But no tale was as spellbinding as the one about the youth who had reached the zenith and lived happily ever after. Says who? Yeah, you're not reading this one to your kids, Bianca? I'm with you. The dragon is there. Okay, here's symbols and meaning. The dragon is there to test the youth. He is an illusion and represents obstacles that prevent us from reaching our goals. The crystal ball is an orb of great power and will help us to differentiate illusion from reality. The roots serve to connect consciousness to the wealth of knowledge contained within the collective unconscious. The cups are holders of divine wisdom. All the designs that arch around the threshold exhibit endless possibilities. They are carved into stable properties of stones. The stairs inside the gate can deliver us to the unknown, reminding us that nothing is certain. All right, so here's what the author says. When embarking on a new venture, we need to make certain that we map out a definitive plan of action. It is vital to visualize what we want and focus on obtaining our dreams. This may not be an easy pursuit. Challenges will inevitably surface, making the climb appear insurmountable. But with enough audacity, spirit, and willingness to prevail, we can break the illusion of negative thinking and remain fixed on our ultimate goal. Okay, so how does this apply to us moving forward? I have a couple of thoughts actually. First of all, I really like the part of this that the dragon is an illusion that is getting in the way of our goals because so many times I have in myself and also in my clients seen us sell ourselves short because of our own hangups. Like you get an idea in your head of why you can't do something and whether that's actually true, relevant, or current. You may stay with that idea no matter what, right? And so I think it's really important for us whenever you feel like you have obstacles on your path to really evaluate, why do I think that? Right? Where is that information coming from? Where is that thought process coming from? Is it relevant? Is it current? Does it make any sense for my current life? Because it's amazing how often the answer is no. But because it was once upon a time, somehow we have gotten off track. So, or we've convinced ourselves of things we can't do. So during this full moon cycle, I think it's a good challenge for all of us to examine what we may think are obstacles and move through them, right? Reevaluate them, decide if they are truly still an obstacle or if they are not. Don't forget that we are our own worst enemies when it comes to telling ourselves we can't. Sometimes it's just out of fear. Sometimes it's easier to say, oh, I can't do that for all of these reasons, because then you just don't have to try, right? We all do it. There's no judgment here. We all do it. But I think it's a great reminder of that. Let's see. The stairs that deliver us to the unknown, reminding us that nothing is certain. Nothing is certain. We know this. Sometimes we really wish it wasn't true, but it is. And I think it's a good reminder for us at this time, again, to see if we can't break through some of the old, you know, persevere through some of the, again, foreseen or unforeseen challenges and, you know, see what we can accomplish on our own and also with receiving some help and some collaboration from others. So that's my thought process. So, what do you guys think? Sid said that fairy tale should be rated R for violence and gore. Definitely didn't match the card image, right? That was going to be fun. It kills me that part that all of these people have died trying to reach the princess, and magical bird dies, and when the magical bird dies, it revives all of those people. It's a story about resurrection, guys. That's weird. Yeah, not feeling it. Yeah, Chris, Scary Tale Tarot. I mean, that's probably a good one for our October, our October theme, right? I'm still cracking up, though. That is too crazy. Okay. Well, there you go. But I actually really do love the message of looking at your obstacles. You know which ones get me? Financial ones. Financial ones. Like I still have something in my head that I can't do something or can't have something or accomplish something, probably because of who I was financially in my 20s, not in my 40s. I forget. I think sometimes too, as women, we forget our power and influence that maybe was shut down or taken away from us when we were younger. And we forget that maybe those obstacles don't really exist anymore, or that we don't have to play by the same rules anymore. Food for thought. All right. Well, what I wanted to do today is read from Angie's deck, the Gratitude Oracle. This is her. She had two decks that came out about the same time. So I'm not sure if this is her last deck. And I actually kind of had an inkling that there might be one more deck coming that was kind of on the way. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. But I had a feeling that was, I'm not sure where I got that idea, but I think that might be true. So, yeah. Yes, Edith, I agree. Gory, but the message resonates. Well, we'll take it. All right. So if you would like a reading, let me know. I would prefer, a question versus a general read. I would rather, answer a question for you if possible. If all you want is a general read, I'll do that too. But let's see. Kylie would love a reading or message from a loved one if time allows. And Kylie, I just want you to know that we are surrounding you in our love. If you guys probably know that Kylie is the granddaughter of our dear Terry that passed a couple of weeks ago. And you guys have been really good to wrap her up in your love. And I appreciate you so much for that. And Kylie, I just want you to know that we all love you and we're thinking about you. And we know what you're going through. So let's pull you a card. I have the sweetest image of your grandma and grandpa being together with their arms around each other's shoulders, smiling. And what a sweet reunion it is for them to be back together. A message from your grandma. She wants you to know that uh, she said that she wanted you to know that you are her best friend. That while she was uh, struggling after he died and after when she was going through illness and stuff, that she just wants you to know that you are her best friend and that your love and care and willingness, she said, to hang out with this old lady meant the world to her, and it still does. She just wanted you to know that. She said she hopes that she always made that clear to you, but she said maybe not. She says you could have been doing more young person stuff, and you spent a lot of time with her, and she appreciates it immensely and loved that time with you more than she'll ever probably be able to express. But okay. The card I pulled for you is the imagination card. And I really like this because your family as a whole right now, in losing your matriarch, you guys have an opportunity right now to create your new normal and to maybe do some things that you want to do. And I love the card imagination for you because even though you're in a place of grief, I also feel like you're in a place of kind of feeling some kind of an itch or a push to reimagine yourself. And I feel like this would be a really good opportunity for you to take some of that imagination and decide, what does that look like? Does that look like school? Does it look like changing up some things, in your household? Does it look like changing up, yourself? What does it look like for you, Kylie? But the truth is, you're going to have that support from both grandma and grandpa, and you can always ask for their help, whatever it is that you're working on. So we love you. Hang in there, kid. We are right here with you. Okay. All righty. Okay. JR, you can get a chakra healing. I'm going to pull you a card too, but looks like you're in need of some energy work. Looks like Mary could use some energy work too. So I'm good with all of that. These cards are kind of stiff from my weak little hands. All right. So, JR, the card is Nature's Beauty. Just a good reminder for you to find some ways to connect with nature in whatever way that you can. A little trip out of town, a road trip, just to walk through the park, whatever that looks like for you. But let's take a look at your energy body. Oh, two things. You feel pretty anxious to me. So we're going to do some grounding, but I also feel like you have an attachment on the back of your neck. So it's one of those thought process attachments that you get when, I mean, it could be anything. It could have been road rage. It could be a mad neighbor. It could be whatever. Like, it's not even necessarily geared towards you, but it's heavy on you. So I'm going to ground you first and see if we can help move that anxiety through. And what I'm hearing, JR, is that you have a lot of people around you right now that are going through a tough time, and it's really taking its toll on you. So, not necessarily like direct struggles, but the struggles of others that you are, worried about and paying attention to and kind of feeling the brunt of. Okay, that ground is better. Let's get your heart chakra balanced up. Sometimes, yeah, I think your heart chakra ends up opening up a lot, which is fine. But that's when you start feeling the weight of the world, of everybody else's struggles. So, balancing up that heart. Oh, good. And your crown. Easy fixes, but you're going to feel a lot better. And then I'm just going to clear that attachment off of your neck. That's not even yours. Yeah, it's been a while since you had one of those, hasn't it? Okay. All right. I'm just going to wrap you up in a big thick blanket of pink light here for a lot of self comfort. All righty. And there you go. Hey, Lillian. Good to see you. Okay. All righty. So Bianca, or sorry, Mary, I'll get there too, Bianca. So Mary injured her rotator cuff and needs some healing energy. Oh, Mary, I'm sorry to hear about that. Right arm. Okay. I'm going to pull you a card anyway, even though we're doing healing work. I just feel like I just wanted to use Angie's cards today, by God. I know you guys have no complaint with that. If you're curious about this deck, it is the Gratitude Oracle by Angela Hartfield, and you can find that on Amazon. Really a beautiful deck. And the artwork is by Josephine Wall, and she's amazing. Okay. Oh, wow. I really did shuffle these. I promise. You saw me. You also pulled the card, Mary of Nature's Beauty. So, good reminder for you too. Make sure you're grounding and getting outside. But I'll bet with that shoulder injury, you're kind of you're a little under the weather. So let's do some ethereal metals, Mary. So I'm going to call in ribbons of sterling silver, I'm going to actually just send them through the top of your head and all the way down that right arm so that we hit every inflammation point. So I'm going to send these 3 ribbons down. So through the top of your head and all the way through that shoulder and out your hand, your right hand. I'm going to do 3 of those. So why sterling silver? Sterling silver is amazing to help cut inflammation. There's a hell of a lot of heat in that shoulder. All right, third one. Good. All right, and then I'm just going to put a chi ball of aquamarine around the whole shoulder, around the whole cuff to just help continue to cool that inflammation so that your body can work on healing. Oh, I am so sorry, my friend. That sucks. But I'm going to just continue to see it healed. See that arm with full range of motion without any kind of pain, any kind of struggle so that you can function. Yeah, I don't know where those yawns are coming from, Lillian. They might just be from the energy work. Sometimes energy work will make me yawn too, but I know. I didn't know I was tired, but suddenly I'm feeling it. Yeah, we are not sleeping very well here either. Okay. Bianca said my husband's Nana passed away last week. I just want assurance that she's okay. Okay. Well, let's pull a card for you guys. And I'm so sorry to hear that. And we'll definitely feel into that. Sure, a lot of people leaving right now, aren't there? My daughter, on her team, on her softball team, one of her teammates had a horrible loss yesterday, and it really rocked the whole team. And everybody is just, they're trying to rally around her and help her and support her, but they're all really feeling, I think it triggered some homesickness, and some grief in everybody. It's just these girls, there's 22 of them, and they just kind of, they're all so bonded to each other. When one person is struggling, it really affects the whole. It's very sad. But she has 21 sisters there at college to take care of her, in her grief, which is pretty amazing. Okay, the card, Bianca, is energy. Look at her. It is like a fairy riding some kind of a magical, mythical beast that looks kind of like a lion that also has horns. That's cool. All right, let's take a look at the grandma question. Yeah, she's fine. She has been visiting. She's already visited your boys. I see her sitting next to your boys in their beds, like putting her hand on their hair and just coming to say goodbye, and connecting to them. Yeah, honey, she's completely fine. She's got a lot to do. She's got a lot of family to attend to, but yeah, the funeral home is unfortunately filled to capacity. Yeah, that's happening in a lot of places. It's a huge problem, unfortunately. All right, well, we are going, and it just adds to the stress and the situation around losing somebody for sure. So we're all sending you and your family, Bianca, so much love right now, and hoping that you guys will be able to pull off services for her that are worthy of her. I feel like she was an amazing lady. Okay, Tammy, may I have a card to know what I need to do to help in my future endeavors? Let's take a peek. Okay. Okay. Tammy, I think this is helpful. The card is timing. And I feel like that's really apt because you have some pretty big goals, I think, and plans and things that you want to accomplish. And the timing is key. The hard part is I feel like so many times you have said, "Yeah, I wanna do something and or I want to, accomplish this goal," but then, the timing for it kinda comes and goes and it never really happens because all of the action wasn't really taken. So, my 2 challenges for you are, 1, that you set some goals on a calendar, that by this date, I'm going to have inquired about this, I'm going to have ordered that, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to talk to this person, whatever. I'm going to apply for this or that, whatever those things are, but that you really put a calendar down and stick to it so that you can really work on the future endeavors and get to where you want to be. So hold yourself, to your calendar, hold yourself to your goals. I feel like part of what happens for you, Tammy, is you have ideas of things that you really want or want to do, but everybody else's needs around you supersede what you would like to do, and pretty soon you find yourself having not really done any of those things because you couldn't, because everybody else had needs, financial needs, physical needs that slowed you down. So this time, you are going to take a bit of a step back from everyone else and take a bigger look at what you want and need. It is your turn. You have given so much. Okay, Geraldine, my goodness, Geraldine. She said, if you have time, maybe you can check out my fractured spine. Trying to find some kind of mattress topper because I can't make it through the night. Oh gosh, Geraldine, I'm so sorry. Let's do the same healing for you that we did for Mary. So I'm going to call in the energy of ethereal sterling silver ribbons. I'm going to start at the top of your head and run those all the way down your spine. Good. And out at your tailbone. And I'm going to run that 3 times. Lots of cooling, lots of help in diminishing that inflammation. And last one. Good. As far as I'm going to put a chi ball around your whole spine too. As far as the mattress topper is concerned, my hit is that you ought to look around on social media, probably Facebook, for a support group of people that have the same injury that you do, and ask around a little bit to see what luck they're having, what they're buying. That's a really powerful way to get some hive mind going when it comes to needing a little bit of extra information or support. And I feel like you'll find some really good suggestions there. So look for a little support group that way, because I think you'll find some support not just with this issue, but with others as well. Yeah. Okay. And then Sid, could you please look at why people persist at my boundaries? I'm trying to self care and establish boundaries, especially around time and energy to others. Thank you. It's a it's an ongoing challenge, particularly for empaths, because we always feel such a need, to give more than we have, or to just, always branch out and put so much of our energy in various places. And I think for you, honestly, Sid, they persist at pushing at your boundaries because they think that it might work because it's worked in the past, and it's just really going to take you sticking to it. But I would really like to challenge you to look at those moments where you go, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to respond to this, or I'm not going to, give what I don't have as, as opportunities where you have thrived, where you have learned, as, look at those as a celebration that you go, yes, the answer is no, and then feel great about it, because that's the hard part, because you feel crappy about it because you feel like you have so much to do. Hey, Sharon. I'm so happy to hear that. But honestly, that's where it's at for me with you is that you celebrate those successes in using pushing those boundaries up strong and give yourself permission to be glad for it. The card I pulled for you is the solitude card. And that's kind of where it's been for you for a while, right? You want to be in solitude for the most part. You just want to be you and of course your dog and just doing your own thing, and that's okay. So I think that solitude card is just a good reminder that you're on the right track and that this is exactly what you should be doing to support yourself. So I love that. Well, you guys, you know what we did. We talked down to the end of the show. I am a professional psychic advisor at 12listen.com. That's number one, number two, listen.com. You can find me over there every single day and I would gladly give you a reading, healing, some animal communication, whatever it is you need. I will do my best to help. So I will be back here, same place, same time next week. And so much more going on for me over at True Crime Paranormal for the week. That's the other place to connect with me. And that's what's up. So thanks so much for being here. You have been listening to The Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way we listen to the world.